What's up, everybody? Welcome to Patriots Popular Opinion. This is my daughter Aria. She's refusing to go to bed. That's my wife. She's hiding under her blanket. But today we're gonna talk about something crazy. So me and my family, we like road trips. We like to go adventure together. We watch shows together. And here's the thing. So we're gonna talk about the originals, Always and Forever Con in Conyers, Georgia.
I have a baby sleeping over here.
2023. My wife being a butt. But anyway, look, I'm gonna tell you. Yeah, you see my daughter being silly. So I'm gonna discuss the con and the ups and the downs.
There were no ups.
There was actually a lot of ups, and screw all you. Yes, I'm a 33-year-old American red-blooded man, and I love the originals in Vampire Diaries. So let's get to it. All right. So, me and my family, we had been wanting to do one of these for a while. Actually, my wife had been on my ass about doing one of these for a while. Finally started watching Vampire Diaries with her. I'd seen the originals before. Didn't actually realize that they were connected, but I loved the originals. Watch Vampire Diaries. I don't care what any of you say about my manhood. Vampire Diaries is an amazing show. I love it. Just to clear this up right now, I also watched Pretty Little Liars. Okay? Thought Pretty Little Liars was an awesome show. But here we go. So we went to the convention in Conyers, Georgia in 2023. Now, there was a lot of ups when it came to the convention. I will tell you that, and I'm sorry the lighting is a little off, but as far as the stars go, the actual actors and stuff like that, it was amazing. They were some of the nicest people that I'd ever met in my life. One of my favorite people to meet was, and I'm sorry, I'm going to mess up these names, but I love the werewolf, man, that plays Tyler Lockwood. I wish I could have met the guy who played his Uncle Mason. And Grams. Bonnie Bennett's grandma. Got to meet her, took a picture with her. She was awesome. Now, this was the first convention that they did in Conyers, Georgia for the originals. And there was a lot of really cool stuff that got to happen, but the staff that ran the convention, that's where my problem was. So we'd met a lot of people when we were there that had been big fans of these shows, and they'd gone to multiple conventions. We actually ended up renting our house we rented an Airbnb in Covington where the Vampire Diaries was filmed. That town was cool. We got to go through there, check everything out, take a bunch of pictures, stuff like that. Unfortunately, the Covington fire that happened in the square, it happened like 4 days after we left, which sucked. And man, I hope they managed to save a bunch of stuff around there, because that area is just so cool. And, if you're a fan of the show or horror movies in general, you got to see it, because we found out the cemetery there's a Halloween house, and that and the cemetery were used in Rob Zombie's 2009 Halloween. Those were awesome. We got some really cool pictures with those. Dukes of Hazzard was filmed there. Some of Teen Wolf was filmed there. And they even had, I think it was a police station that was used in Friday the 13th Part 6 for my old slasher movie fans, man. It was just really cool. But Conyers was a little different. So Conyers is like a square. There's like a city, but there's a particular square that they did the filming on. And that's where they held the convention. Now, I don't know who was in charge of the convention, who was running it. Like I said, supposedly this is the first one they did there. And the actors themselves were really cool. A lot of the booths and the people that showed up to do sales and all that were really, really awesome. The people that were in charge of the convention were garbage. Even a lot of people that we ran into and met had said, if they ever do this convention in Conyers again, and it's the same people that are in charge of it. They're not going to go. We watch people walk out the first day within the first 20 minutes of autographs. So the first thing we'll talk about is the security team. They had a security team. I don't know for sure what the company was or what the name of them was. I saw one security guard that was wearing a t-shirt that said Security 3000. I assume that's the name of the company, but I looked them up online to make a complaint. And to be honest, it's the only thing I could find was a company in the UK. It wasn't even American. I'm pretty sure that that wasn't the company they worked for, but if there is a Security 3000 that's an American company and that's the one that was hosting it, you guys suck. I brought my 7 and 6-year-old daughter there. They love the show, love to watch it with their mom. We brought them there to get to meet some of the stars and these people. My daughter also likes one of the vampires. The main Michelson female vampire was also in a show called H2O that my daughter loves. She plays a mermaid, all that kind of stuff. But the security team, what decided, number one, they weren't calling people when certain people were there for photo ops or autographs. So people were missing their mark. And these are autographs and photographs that, you know, people paid for online thousands of dollars before they even got to the convention. They were screwing people out of that stuff. We went to complain about the situation to the people in charge. They were just as uncaring. And, you know, still to this day haven't got a refund. There's multiple people online trying to make complaints and get refunds for pictures and autographs and things like that they were not allotted, that they paid for. And so far the company, as far as what I know, has not done anything about it. Also, while we were standing in line with my children, I tried to have my daughter stand about 2 feet to my left to stand in the shade under one of the tents, and I had a security woman who was just horrible and rude, who came and decided to yell at my little kids and tell them, no, the line's over here, you can't stand here. I said, ma'am, my daughters are trying to stay in the shade. They're trying to stay cool. You know, this is Georgia. It was over 100 degrees at the time we went down there in the middle of the summer. She said, I don't care. If you kids can't handle it, you got to take them to the car to the air conditioning and just get out of line. Well, how about you just let them stand in the shade? You know, what's the big deal with that? And then on the way in, the lady that was running people coming into the photo ops started yelling at people on the horn she had. I can't remember what it's called, bullhorn. You know, because they were messing up the event times and people were missing their ops. And so people were complaining and getting mad. And this lady decided, instead of trying to talk to these people or hear the complaints or, you know, just be a nice person and try to work out what she could for these people that had paid money and driven there to see this thing and flown there to see this thing, she was just going to yell back and just be the rudest person in the world that she possibly could. And she turns around going through the line yelling at people. I know it wasn't aimed for my daughter, but she elbowed my 7-year-old daughter in the face and knocked her on her back. Instead of turning around and apologizing and, you know, trying to be a decent human being, she just went back inside the photo op tent and just disappeared. There was one guy that he came out several times to talk to us over different incidents, as well as other people. I can't remember his name, but he was the guy that was in charge of the photo op event. He did give us a bunch of free photos and things like that, was trying to make up for the situation, but it was also pretty clear that he was pretty worn down. He knew his staff was messing things up. He stated it to us, and that people were being rude to the fans and stuff like that. And he was just kind of at a point by the time he talked to us that I think he was ready for the event to be over. So he was just handing out free tickets for whatever to try to make people happy. But it still didn't change the fact that my wife lost almost $3,000 worth of things she paid for because they screwed up schedules. On top of that, a lot of the reason people didn't get photographs and autographs that they were supposed to get was because, according to one of the volunteers who was there doing the event, they were giving the stars one schedule, they were giving us another one. So, for instance, Tyler Lockwood, I believe, after we got his photo op, we were supposed to be in there to get his autograph. I think it was around 12:30. but they had given him a schedule of 5:30. So all the fans showed up and lined up, and everybody was waiting for him, and he didn't show up, and then all the fans dispersed. By the time that he did show up according to the schedule they gave him, none of the fans were there, and they didn't call anybody. They didn't even announce that he was there signing autographs. There was about, I think, 4 or 5 people that went down of medical conditions in the crowd because the crowd was just running rampant because the security wasn't controlling them. And, you know, to be honest, like, it just was a shitty time. It was supposed to be a really good time and, you know, great family experience. And like I said, the stars were excellent. I got a video with one of the stars that he, you know, took my phone. We recorded a message from my dad. My dad's a big fan of his. He's in Star Trek and 12 Monkeys and all that. That guy was awesome. And there wasn't a star in the house we met that wasn't a nice person to us or didn't do anything for us. But the staff that was running the event was horrible. And so many of the fans that have been following these events since they started said they'll never go back to Conyers if it's the same company that's running, you know, the convention the next time. And I have to agree. I've been to a lot of conventions in my life. Never one for Vampire Diaries or Originals, but I like superheroes, comic books, things like that. And I've been to a lot of different conventions, and I've never seen one that was run so sloppy or so horribly. However, like I said, Covington was an amazing town. And the next Vampire Diaries convention that's supposed to be held next summer is supposed to be in Covington. They've done this a couple times. They're supposed to be really good at it. I hope that that town recovers from the fires okay, because it was beautiful. And I definitely want to go back there, spend more time and money and all that. We got to eat at the Mystic Grill. By the way, if you're a fan of the Vampire Diaries and you get a chance to eat at the Mystic Grill, that restaurant is amazing. The food was incredible. They served the wine in blood bags. It was great. And I am looking forward to going again. Conyers, you need to learn how to welcome your fans, man, and how to control a convention. You fucked a lot of people over, man. And the worst part of the situation is when we got on the site to try to make our complaints were taken down. We looked at who goes through the complaints and, you know, verifies them and okays them to be on the site, and it's the people that were running the convention, so of course they're taking it down. They suck. And they were getting so many complaints it wasn't even funny. Man, I just hope y'all do a better job of planning next time, because, you know, me and my family spent a lot of money to be there, and it was an experience that we were really looking forward to. And man, that just, it was tough, man. But still, I'm so thankful for all the people I got to meet, the autographs and the pictures, and everybody on that cast was just incredible, man. And I'm still a fan of the show, just not a fan of Conyers. So, all right.